Welcome back, everybody. We're here with another Top 10. Today, my Top 10, my favorite athletes. Yeah, you might know some of these people. Some of them you might not know. So get ready and hold on to your butts. All right, I'm going to start with my honorable mentions. Yes, my honorable mentions. We're just going to give you 5 here. There's no order for any of my top 10, so remember that. Just because if I say you first or last, doesn't mean you're first or last. So, honorable mentions. Let's start at the top. We are going with my new girl in CrossFit, Tia Claire Toomey. Yep, Tia Claire Toomey. She is amazing. She is a badass, and I think she probably lifts what I squat. You know. Fittest woman in the world. God, is she on 4 or 5 years in a row now? I can't remember. But she is absolutely dominant in the women's division of CrossFit. Next up, he is too damn mega, wearing the purple for my boy, Megamondo. Yes, Megamondo. He is a indie wrestler. If you haven't seen his promos online, search him. I know he's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. Check him out, please. Oh, Twitter also. Make sure you check him out on Twitter. Yes, my boy Kyle Wells, a.k.a. Megamondo. You knew this guy was going to make the list somewhere. I almost had him in my top 10, but since I really didn't start following this guy until he came to the Cubs, but I got to give it out for him. Your 2016 World Series MVP, Ben Zobrist. Yes, Ben Zobrist. Absolutely fell in love with this guy when he came to the Chicago Cubs. Also, if you don't know his story, look up his story about how the one time he was basically going to give up on baseball. I believe he was undrafted. Also, I don't know if he was undrafted or didn't think he was going to get drafted, but went to a tryout. It cost him like $50. I think his college coach or high school coach, one of them paid for it. And, I mean, look at him now. You know, he's out of the league now, but he had a great professional career in Major League Baseball. Won 2 World Series, one of those being with the Cubs, the other one with the Kansas City Royals. Like I said, World Series MVP, switch hitter, utility fielder. I mean, he was the Swiss Army knife. And he's the type of guy you want on your team at all times. Absolutely love Ben Zobrist. Got to meet him in person. Absolute phenomenal dude. Next, I'm sure you all guessed this. Probably going, why is he not on your top 10? Because how much you talk about him and love him. Well, that's because I didn't really follow him as an athlete. It was more after his career. I started following him towards the end. But that is Pat McAfee. Gotta love Pat McAfee. I mean, he even went over to the wrestling business, played 1 professional game of baseball. Dude can do it all, man. Entertaining as hell, too. So, Pat McAfee automatically gets my honorable mention. Last on my honorable mention, she's creeping up. She might be in the top 10 here sooner or later. But it's my girl Sabina over at M4G CrossFit. I mean, she's awesome. She kicks ass in CrossFit. She's a good human. And like I said, she's coming up that list. She's coming for my top 10. I'm telling you. Just an awesome girl. All right, let's get into the top 10. Let's make this quick. You guys will probably not be surprised by some of these guys, but some of them you might be a little shocked by. Be like, wow, I didn't know that about you. Actually, you'll probably know all of them. All right, let's start with the man who's kind of missing his prime right now because baseball can't get their heads out of their asses. And that is Mike Trout. Mike Trout, by far one of the greatest players we've ever seen in our lifetime. Missing these last 3 seasons, one due to COVID. I mean, he played, but it was a shortened season. Next year, he had that real bad calf injury, didn't play very much. And then this year, with the fucking lockout, who knows if they're even going to play. That's 3 years in some of probably his prime. It's his prime. How are we keeping Mike Trout from stepping on the field? Injuries, I understand. The COVID thing, I guess I understand. Everybody was scared. I understand that. But now, The lockout? Come on, get your heads out of your asses. Mike Trout needs to be on the field. The fans need to see this greatness play. Next on the list, one of my favorite football players from the Chicago Bears. He took them to a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, we had Rex Grossman as a quarterback. And Cedric Benson couldn't hold on to the fucking ball. Brian Urlacher. Fucking love Brian Urlacher. Always have, always will. He was my favorite football player. I don't have too many. I have one more football player on this list. I just don't watch football. I mean, I watch it, but I don't watch it for one guy. I watch it for a team. So there are a couple guys that stick out here and there, but Brian Urlacher is probably one of the few that I actually really followed through his career. Next up, we're going MMA, and that's my boy George St. Pierre. Absolutely used to love to watch this guy fight, even towards the end of his career. Yeah, he wasn't as dominant, but still put up great fights. I think he even went out with the title. Had to, obviously turn it over because he retired, but dude was amazing to watch, fun to watch. His fights with BJ Penn were some of the best. And then he was in Winter Soldier, which is an awesome ass movie from Marvel. So check out some of his highlights on YouTube. I mean, dude was amazing fighter. All right, let's jump into the meat now. So far, I've knocked 3 off my top 10. We are going with Junior. The kid with the backwards hat, having a great time, biggest smile in baseball, Ken Griffey Jr. I wanted so bad to be left-handed because of Ken Griffey Jr. He had my favorite stance where he had the kind of wiggle, the bat wave, a subtle bat wave. It wasn't like no Gary Sheffield or anything, but backwards hat during the All-Star Home Run Derby. Hits bombs, sweetest swing in baseball. Still has the sweetest swing in baseball. Just effortless. Absolutely crushed the ball. Was a Gold Glove fielder. Great on the bases. I mean, Ken Griffey, barring injury, might have been one of the greatest players, barring injury. I mean, he obviously was one of the greats ever, but I would have loved to have seen his numbers if he hadn't been hurt. But still, even the numbers he put up hurt. I mean, just amazing. Ken Griffey Jr. might have been the most emulated baseball player ever. I still see kids try to emulate Ken Griffey Jr. And that's saying something when you got Mike Trout in the league right now. Next on the list, obviously, and only the basketball player I ever followed, Michael fucking Jordan, the GOAT. Michael Jordan, don't get me wrong, I love Kobe, I love LeBron, but Michael Jordan, I followed through thick and thin. I even followed him when he went over to baseball. Absolutely loved Michael Jordan. Watching The Last Dance, just getting a behind-the-scene look of his mentality and his... I hate fucking losing that much. I will do anything. Like when they got knocked out of the playoffs and he came back, I think the next day they were in the gym ready for next season. And the playoffs were still going on. I mean, just his drive, his mentality, and his, just his greatness on the court. It showed. He elevated everybody on the court. So, Michael Jordan, I'm not doing the debate between who's greater, LeBron, Michael, or Kobe. I'm not doing that shit. To me, Michael is the GOAT. To me. That's to me. LeBron's great. Kobe's great. Let's just move on. Woo! Okay. These next few, they're big. We are to the last 5. And why not top it off? Coming from the motherland, the land of the rising sun, Ichiro Suzuki. Ichiro Suzuki, what do you have, 11 or 12 years of 200 plus hits? That's unreal. Still got 3,000 hits in his career over in the USA. If he would have started his career here, would he have beat Pete Rose? We don't know. Everybody's like, well, if you had his numbers from Japan and his American numbers, he beat Pete Rose. You can't do that. That's a different league over there. You can't add that stuff. What if he came over here and just fizzled out early? What if he didn't adapt fast enough or something? I don't think that would have been a problem, but we just never know, and you can't play what ifs with sports. It is what it is. Let's just put the facts in straight. Let's do it. Let's look at the numbers in the league that you played in. Multiple Gold Glove winner. I mean, in the field, dude had a hose too. Had a hose throwing people out left and right. Just robbed home runs left and right. I mean, this guy was amazing. Just amazing to watch. Broke the all-time hits in a season, which was one of the best times of my life to watch baseball because it reminded me of the home run chase with McGwire, Bonds, and Sosa, because people would, I mean, they literally tune in. Is Ichiro going to break it tonight? Just amazing. Absolutely love the guy. He's was humble on and off the field too. Absolutely just a class act. So, Ichiro, you're still all time one of my favorite baseball players ever. Obviously, you're on my list, so it means big things if you're on Tokyo's list. All right, let's get down. This is my favorite football player. I told you I had another one besides Brian Urlacher. And this kid, he quit in his prime. I mean, all eyes were on him. Could not believe he quit in his prime. And I know what you're thinking. Eddie, you're talking about Barry Sanders. You are absolutely wrong. I am talking about Jalen fucking Haggerty. Jalen fucking Haggerty quit after his junior year. Says, I'm done with this. I'm going to show choir and video gaming. Why did I pick him as my favorite football player? Because he was my favorite football player to watch ever. Also, now he's in the gaming world. Multi-sport athlete. Can sing. He can dance. Kid's got all the tools. All the tools. All right. And here we go. You ready? My favorite. By far, nobody holds a candle to this guy. My favorite CrossFit athlete ever. Abel fucking Redding. Yes, Abel fucking Redding. Dude is amazing. That's all I can say. Not only is he amazing in the gym, outside the gym, he's a firefighter. He's out here saving lives, people. Out here saving lives. Making his life better. Just got engaged. Bought a new puppy. I mean, saving puppies too. Look at this. Abel Redding, you are my favorite male CrossFit athlete, and I tell you this every day I see you, buddy. So keep pushing, keep driving, keep grinding, baby. Let's move on. Favorite female CrossFit athlete, favorite cheerleader, favorite softball player, favorite show choir in the female division, and my favorite bowler. Yes, she's a bowler too. Yes, I know what you're thinking. It's Mrs. Toke. Yes, my wife, Kayla Haggerty. Yep. Absolutely dominates me in CrossFit. Absolutely dominates me in bowling. I got her in the baseball and softball, though. I got her there. Racing, I think I could beat her in racing. Any other games that we play? We don't play football together. We don't play soccer. We don't play tennis. Pickleball, she might get me in pickleball. Singing, dancing, she definitely got me in all that stuff. But, yep, it's amazing to watch her just dominate CrossFit. She has fun with it. She enjoys it. She is investing in herself, and it has paid off. I mean, look at her muscles. I mean, she's yoked. She's got bigger traps than me. Jeez. Sexy. And then finally, one of my favorite baseball players to ever touch the field. I mean, this dude's just fucking awesome. He's smooth. Very smooth. And yes, it is not me. I have left myself off all these lists. Shocking, but it is what it is. Big Smooth, a.k.a. Gage Haggerty. I mean, my favorite baseball player. Dude is just silky smooth out there in the outfield. He's got a cannon. Big lefty on the mound. Kind of reminds me of a young Randy Johnson without the facial hair, I guess. Got a nasty slider. Throws a knuck piece. Yeah, if you don't know what a knuck piece, go look that up on YouTube. His control's gotten better. Can hit the shit out of the ball. Can hit for base hits. Singer and dancer. And I heard he's taking up football next year. Watch the fuck out. I think he could run some. Put him as like a wide receiver. Ooh. Have him run an end around. He can also bomb the ball if need be. Look at this, man. I'm creating plays as we're doing this top 10. So, but yes, those are my top 10 with my honorable mentions. You're probably going, man, I was expecting more. Well, this ain't your list. If you're expecting more, do your own fucking list. I don't care. This is my list, my way. That's the way it is. But thank you again. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you at the next top 10. Thanks.